Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gerard the Watt, owner and witch of Earth's Scariest Goods, and today I'm going to show you a spell on how to get a job. So if you're new around these parts, don't forget to subscribe, and without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so we're going to need a few items. The first item you're going to need is a glass jar or glass container, and it's super important that it's glass. Try not to use plastic, only because plastic kind of stops energy and you don't want that. Okay, we're going to need some water. I also have it in glass. If you have moon water or sun water, I highly recommend using that. Over the two, I would highly recommend using the sun water. Sun water is great for, success and energy and light. So I highly recommend that. If you don't have sun water or you don't know how to go about getting some, I did do a video on that, and I'll link it down below. Okay, so we'll also need an orange candle, or if you don't have an orange candle, a white candle will do, and a green candle will do as well, but it has to be one of those, okay? Something to write with. I always recommend a permanent marker. We're going to need a few items like honey, okay? If you have vanilla extract, that's fine too. If you only have honey, that's okay. As always, make the magic your own, but if you have honey and vanilla extract, even better, okay? We're gonna need some cinnamon, common cinnamon you can get from your grocery store, any kind of your local store. Some cloves, and of course, some patchouli. If you don't know where to get patchouli, your local metaphysical store should carry it. You can definitely get it online. Even Earth's Scariest Goods has some for you to shop for. So yes, but patchouli, okay? We're going to also need a citrine crystal. Super important. Make sure that, of course, before you begin, you always want to do a cleansing. Make sure everything is nice and clear. I've got my incense going to cleanse my area. If you have sandalwood, myrrh, sage is great, lavender is great, so just use one of those. Even mugwort, if you need to burn that, that works well too. And if you have your sage bundle, you're going to want to just cleanse everything around. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is, of course, this is a spell to get a job. So if you already have a place in mind, I highly recommend to print out and research everything about that place, okay? So if it is, I don't know, you want to work for Amazon, for instance, you're going to want to understand everything about Amazon, what position you want to be, how long they've been, as much facts as you can about that place, because you want to visually picture Amazon and you working there, okay? Next, if you already have a job, by the way, I highly recommend don't doing this spell yet until you're sure you're ready to leave that job, because this spell can tend to make it where that job no longer will exist, or you suddenly will lose your job, okay? So this is more for the person that doesn't have a job, or if you're ready to transition out of your old job into a new job. Maybe you want something fresh, then try to do this spell, okay? But don't do this spell if you're not sure you want to leave your current job, okay? But like I said, this is more centered toward anyone that just doesn't have a job, okay? So you're gonna need a resume. So the resume that you're gonna turn into the place that you want to apply. If you don't know what job that you are suited for, or maybe you don't have any clue on, who you're going to apply for, at least do a resume, okay? And this is just a sample resume that I printed off, okay? But just do a resume, period, just for yourself, okay, to put all your trades. This would be somewhere that you would turn it into, okay? So if you already know the place that you're gonna do, then obviously your resume is gonna be centered toward, Amazon or Best Buy or something of that nature. But you're going to need a resume, whether it's to a certain place or to no place. It's at least centered towards this is something you're gonna turn in, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our resume and you're going to write your full name on the resume. Even if you've already printed your name on the resume, you have to write it out, okay? So you're going to write, I'm going to write out my name, and I'm just gonna put a random string of names on here because of course I have a stable job. It's wonderful. I'm just gonna, you know, just want to keep it there. Don't want to lose that job. So I'm just gonna just put on here, and you're gonna write your name on the resume 3 times. Okay, so I just wrote it somewhere on the resume. It's at the top. I wrote it 3 times. These are just random names because of course I'm not doing the spell, okay? So now you're gonna take the resume and you're gonna turn it to the right, and you're gonna write your name again 3 times across those the 3 times that you've already done, okay? All right, so it should look something like that, okay? Now, right underneath it, you're gonna write your date of birth. So I'm just gonna choose a random date of birth. All right, so I've got my name 3 times across, 3 times going across that, and then right underneath it, I have my birthday under there. You know, it's not my real birthday, but you know, because once again, I'm not doing the spell, but you're gonna write your real birthday on there. Okay. So now we're gonna wanna fold it, and what you're gonna do is when you fold it, you're gonna fold it towards you because we want that job to come towards you, okay? You're gonna twist it clockwise and fold it towards you. Clockwise and fold it towards you. Now you're gonna do that as much as you want. It has to be able to fit in this jar though, and we'll get to that part in just a minute. But that's why I'm folding it. Just small enough to fit into the jar. Okay, so it looks like that. So right now we took the resume, we put our name on there 3 times across it. We did our name 3 times, our full name. Right under that, you put your birthday, and then of course, now we folded our paper, okay? So now we're to the next part. Next part is your jar. Now with the jar, anytime I use a jar, I always like to cleanse the inside of the jar. And right now, this is a very cleansing incense, so just cleanse it, just kind of clearing it of everything. Okay, and now we're gonna take the water. And of course, we're gonna put it in just until you can get, don't fill it all the way to the top because we're gonna put this paper in there and you don't want all the water just spilling out because of the displacement. So just enough, so just enough. So I didn't use quite a full glass on this. This used to be a dip, you know, like the chip dip. I just reuse, recycling, yay. Okay, so now that's where we're gonna get to our honey and vanilla extract. Now honey is great for sweetening things, of course, but it's great for success and prosperity and abundance. It's really great properties, so yes. So, and remember that water can also be your sun water, by the way, but now we're gonna take the honey and we're gonna drizzle some into the water. And you're gonna do it clockwise, okay? Here we go, just enough to sweeten it up. Vanilla extract. Vanilla is another sweetening agent, so we're gonna just put a few drops of that into the water. Here we are. So now we have our sweetened water. And the reason why is because the resume, we're gonna make you very enticing, sort of like honey to the bee or the flower to the bee. We're gonna draw the job to you, okay? So now we're gonna place our paper into the water, like so. We're gonna seal it up nice and tight, okay? And then we're gonna shake it up, okay? So we're gonna sweeten it up. Oh, sweeten you up. Make sure it's on tight because you don't want it, you know, dripping everywhere, like sort of like what I'm doing. Okay, so we shake it up. Okay, now that we shook it up, you're gonna place both hands onto the glass and you're going to imagine yourself already working at that job. Imagine that they just gave you a call. Maybe you already did the interview and you can see yourself happy that you got the job, and you know that now everything's going to be stable, that money is coming to you, that prosperity and abundance. You're no longer going to worry about your bills. You're not going to worry about where money is going to come from day to day. Just see yourself happy and light and stress-free and carefree because you have this stable job and you know you're going to be happy working at that place, okay? And once again, if you don't have a job, then you can visualize yourself getting a job. What does it feel like? Can you imagine someone calling you because that's the place that you eventually wanted to put your resume at? Or maybe you already put your resume out there and now you're just waiting for a call. So imagine them giving you a call, you know, maybe suddenly your resume got back up to speed and maybe it got to the top of the pile and suddenly they just saw your resume. So imagine seeing that, okay? Here we go. Okay, so now that we did the visualization, you're going to say these words over it, okay? Job to me, as I will it, so mote it be. Job to me, as I will it, so mote it be. Job to me, as I will it, so mote it be. Okay, so you're putting your intention into that. You're now vibrating to the universe that you're drawing this job to you, okay? That you do already have that job and you're grateful that you got that job, okay? Now you're gonna take your citrine crystal and you're gonna put it on top, okay? And then we're gonna set this to the side. That's when now we're gonna take our candle. Remember the candle, the white candle, the green candle, or the orange candle. All of those represent money, prosperity, abundance. White is kind of a universal color, so if you don't have the green or the orange, even yellow would be good too, but something bright, okay? Something that you wanna draw money to. The typical, most magic users, many witches, prefer to use green because of green for the earth and prosperity and money and kind of the representation of that. But that's why I'm using orange to let you know that it does work with other colors, okay? So now, once I find my lighter, okay, and we're gonna light our candle. All right, now we put the citrine crystal on there. Citrine, and the reason why I say citrine is also known as the merchant stone. In ancient times, a lot of store owners and marketplace people, they would put a citrine crystal near their money, their wallet, their registers to draw money toward them for prosperity. It also has a lot of great cleansing properties, so you want to place that on top until we're done with the candle part, okay? Now we're going to take our cloves and we're going to sprinkle in a clockwise motion because we're drawing things to you. We're going to place it around the candle. Okay? Just enough until you're comfortable, until you get a little circle there, okay? We're going to take our cinnamon and we're going to do the same thing. And if you notice, if you've seen some of my previous videos, usually I use like a votive candle or a taper candle, but I wanted to show that, you know, on a budget, sometimes all we can afford is a tea light candle. It works just as great and just as powerful, okay? Just because it's a tea light doesn't make it any less. It's your magic. Make the magic your own, okay? And then we're going to take our patchouli and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go and make a circle around it. So we're going to do a little bit, sprinkle some around. And patchouli is good at drawing success and money as well. Great for cleansing as well. So that's why we want to use patchouli. Like I said, you should be able to get your hands on that at your local, you know, market, your local shops, your metaphysical shops, even online. My store alone, Earth's Curious Goods, does carry patchouli as well. But you will need patchouli. All right, so there we are. We have our circle. Hopefully you probably can't see that. I don't know if you can, but but a little circle around and the candle's in the middle, okay? And once again, you're going to just stare into the candle, concentrate, okay? You're bringing that job to you. You are about to do an interview. So if you're about to do the interview, try to do the spell right before, but you're seeing yourself already have that job. It's already coming to you. You already know it's going to happen. You already know it did happen and that you're super happy. You're no longer stressed out about bills or money. You now have a stable job, okay? Or you have that new job, okay? Or they finally called you back. You've been waiting for that call for that job. You saw them call you, okay? So make sure to see these things. You visualize it in your mind's eye and concentrate. It's super important that you concentrate. If for any reason you have kids running around or the phone ringing or you just, you know, your mind is not centered, you don't want to do this spell yet because the visualization is key for this spell, okay? Without the visualization, it will not work. I promise you, it will not work. So you need to be peaceful in mind, peaceful in spirit, and able to concentrate. Just look at the flame and concentrate. You see the job, you see where you're working, you see that it's coming, and you're super grateful for it, okay? And you just spend a few minutes. Now that when you've done with all of that, you're going to want to just keep an eye on the candle, put it somewhere safe, heat-proof, safe area, a cauldron, a plate near water, because you're going to want this to burn down. This is a tea light, so it's actually pretty safe inside the metal, but I still want it to be in a safe area, so you want it to burn down fully, okay? If you want to burn it over time, that's fine too. Maybe your interview for the job already happened and you're just getting to this spell, or you're about to start applying for jobs. Then every time you do that, maybe you want this candle to be lit when you're doing that to give you that extra oomph. That's fine too, but this candle must burn down completely, okay? When it's done burning down, you're going to want to bury the remains of it, you know, any of the remnants, all of this. It's okay if you do throw it out. Just if you do that, make sure, of course, the candle is completely out. And then, of course, you want to give thanks and be very grateful for it happening. Your energy is out there, your spell work is done, and it's making it happen. It's coming to you. You no longer have to worry. And the final part of course, remember our little jar here. You're going to want to keep this safe. Keep it, you know, under your bed or near you. If you can keep it under your bed, the better. I would highly recommend keeping it under the bed because as you sleep, let the spell work. Anytime that you feel like you need an extra oomph or confidence, or maybe you're about to go to the interview, you're going to take the jar and you're going to shake it up. Okay, and remember, visualize that it's happening. You're about to go to your interview, shake it up. And see yourself being the candidate for the job. See them, you're just shining. You're the person that they pick, okay? When you do go for the interview, I highly recommend leaving a piece of you behind. So usually what I would do would be take a little piece of my hair and kind of like, you know, as you're in the interview, you kind of drop it on the floor or drop it in the trash or go to the bathroom and drop your hair, you know, somewhere in a corner on the floor. But leave a piece of you at that company, at that job, at that place that you did the interview at, okay? So that way a little bit of you is sweetening up the interviewers, sweetening up the area. You kind of stand out from all the other candidates. Well, I hope you liked today's video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, and as always, leave comments down below. I always love to see how the spells are working out for all of you. So, stay earthy, stay magical. Bye for now.